From beasts to legends, peculiar sights, and spine-chilling encounters. Once out in the woods, expect anything you have never imagined. And today, we've gathered some of those unbelievable moments that you don't want to miss.
There's something like
crouching down there.
Yeah, could you get the light?
At an animal nursery, two friends spotted a crouching figure in the backyard through the window. At first, they thought it might be some animal, but as they turned on the light, it reacted strangely and darted to the far end of the yard. The friends watched in confusion as the creature moved. Its shape was hard to explain, and when it reached the fence, it suddenly flew up and disappeared into the alley. They checked the spot but found no traces. The blurry video they recorded showed its movement, but no one could say what it was. Since that night, they avoided stepping into the backyard after dark.
Yeah. What? Yeah, there's something back there.
Parasites? On November 24, 2024, a video surfaced online, quickly going viral. It showed two dark-colored rams with multiple growths on their lower bodies, making many believe it was a genetic mutation, or maybe parasites. However, a similar sighting appeared on a farm, where the same animal was seen with a farmer. It was revealed that the ram's fur had been cut in a way that made it look like extra tails. The grooming technique created the illusion of abnormal growth. What had seemed like parasites hanging was actually an unusual fur pattern, adding to the captivity of the video's viral spread. Campfire visitor. A group of friends was camping in Falaise, France, enjoying a bonfire. Everything felt normal until one of them spotted movement behind the tree. What they saw was unbelievable. A small figure peeked out from behind a tree. It had gray skin and long fingers that reached toward the light. It looked like some scary skeleton. The group stared there thinking if they had just come face to face with an alien or something else entirely.
Il est un peu gros le chat, j'aime pas ça. Je vais me barrer. Pour éclairer, putain!
Bird's nest. In a village, a buffalo was seen drinking water from a flowing channel. At first glance, everything appeared normal, but then something unusual caught the eye. A nest of birds rested on the buffalo's head, with 3 eggs nestled safely in its horns. The buffalo didn't seem to notice the nest, calmly drinking water as if it was a natural part of its body. It moved without a care. Observers were left speechless, wondering why did the birds choose the buffalo for a home? Was this a unique bond, or just an oddity of nature? The mystery stayed as the buffalo continued its peaceful drink. Rake in woods. On Saturday, 11th of July 2011, a local heard strange noises coming from the nearby woods. Curious, he grabbed his camera and went in. As he walked through the trees, he saw a creature sitting quietly, facing away from him. Suddenly, it turned, and what he saw stopped him in place. Glowing white eyes staring directly at him. The creature's unsettling gaze reminded him of the infamous rake, a creature known for its terrifying eyes. He ran as fast as he could. One thing was certain: the woods were hiding more than he could understand.
What the heck is that?
Deceased predator. A couple was driving through a road in Brazil when they suddenly had to stop. There were no signals or cars, but a creature made them stop in their path. It was massive and brownish, lying lifeless on the road. Its sharp teeth made it look both fierce and strange. At first, they thought it might be the carcass of some animal, but its shape was disturbing, resembling stories of the Chupacabra. Curious but cautious, they drove around it, unsure if they had just come across a legend brought to life. Whatever it was, the image stayed with them long after they left the scene. black beasts. One night, a villager saw something strange in the fields. He thought at first it was just a couple of bears, but something about them felt off. These two black furry beings sat still in the darkness. Their shapes were odd, almost unnatural. The villager blinked, trying to figure out what he was looking at, but he couldn't quite make sense of it. They didn't move like bears, and their posture seemed all wrong. Could they be some kind of hybrid or an undiscovered creature? No one has an explanation. Dark Watcher.
You good, bud? What you barking at? Stop barking, bud.
In a quiet Louisiana backyard, a family dog started barking fiercely near the trees. It wasn't barking at its own shadow. A dark figure seemed to peek out from behind the tree. The shape didn't match anything familiar. It had glowing eyes and appeared to wear a cape-like outline. The shadow moved quickly, vanishing before anyone could get a clear look. The dog remained alert, growling as if the presence was still nearby. Later, the footage captured by the family's camera revealed the shadow moving unnaturally. It didn't resemble a person or an animal. Many believed it was a ghostly being, leaving them questioning what truly lurked in the darkness.
Stop barking, bud.
Hidden proof.
Breaking news out of Texas, Bigfoot is real.
In 2013, a group of researchers called the Sasquatch Genome Project made a shocking claim. They released video footage that they believed proved Bigfoot's existence. The clips showed the legendary creature in Kentucky caught sleeping in broad daylight back in 2005. For 5 years, the researchers worked tirelessly to collect evidence. Along with the video, they also presented DNA proof. But despite all the evidence, many were left wondering, was this really the proof we needed, or just another mystery waiting to be solved?
We've all had experiences that have changed our lives. I mean, literally shook the foundations of what we believe in.
Beneath bark. On April 8, 2019, a hiker in the woods accidentally caught something strange on camera. It was a small black creature hiding inside a tree bark. Its eyes were just two dark dots. The hiker, puzzled, couldn't make sense of it. Was it some kind of cryptid? Similar sightings have happened elsewhere. In Russia, a creature appeared peeking behind a tree. Its face completely featureless. It tilted back as if observing, then disappeared into the shadows. The idea that these creatures were lurking in the woods, hidden and watching, made the hiker's heart race. But the question is, how many other strange beings could be out there hidden from view? Black Giant.
Do you see that?
In Silver Point, Tennessee, a man recorded something unusual in the woods. The peaceful town became the center of attention when he uploaded the footage. It showed a giant black creature with a muscular build. At first, it looked like an animal, but its arms stood out. They were incredibly long. The figure moved between the trees, making it hard to see clearly. It resembled Bigfoot, but its arm length made it even stranger. The video quickly went viral, leaving viewers to debate what it could be. The man who recorded it said he'd never seen anything like it before.
Do you see that? I'm afraid.
Angry creature.
Clovis man says he might have caught the mythical Chupacabra creature terrorizing his chickens.
A villager in California went outside his house during the day and stopped. There, a strange creature stood. Its face looked like a coyote or a wild dog, but it seemed much scarier. It was on all fours, looking angry and making the nearby animals run away. Its sharp teeth and fierce eyes made the villager feel uneasy. He had heard stories about the Chupacabra and couldn't shake the thought that this might be it. Next time when you step outside your house, you might want to think twice. Who knows what could be waiting there? Shadowed figure. One night, a trail camera recorded a figure moving through the woods. The footage revealed something strange slowly approaching the lens. Its shape was unclear at first, shrouded in darkness. It didn't look human. It had no visible arms or legs, and didn't match the form of any known animal. Just as it seemed we might get a better view, the recording stopped abruptly. No one could identify the figure when the video was later shared online. It was probably a wandering ghost, silently drifting through the night. What's your take on this? Vanished figure.
What is this?
A hiker was trekking through the jungle when he saw something strange. Behind a cluster of leaves, a dark figure stood motionless. It was too far to make out any details. The moment the hiker noticed it, the figure quickly disappeared behind the leaves. Curious, the hiker made his way over to the spot, eager to find out what it was. He searched the area carefully, but there was no sign of it. No footprints, no broken branches, not even a trace. The hiker felt uneasy, wondering if he had just encountered something not of this world.
What is this?
White beast. Two explorers wandered into the woods with their flashlights, capturing a moment they would never forget. As the beam lit up the trees, it landed on a tall, white figure. The creature's massive frame and large eyes became clear for a split second before it ran away and vanished into the shadows. Viewers who saw the video online noticed its unusual proportions. Long limbs, and a face that twisted unnaturally as it fled. Many speculated it was an albino Bigfoot, similar to the one first reported in Blakesley, Pennsylvania, during the 1970s. Woods haunt. An Indonesian YouTuber and his friends went into the woods, hoping to find wild animals, but what they saw wasn't anything they expected. A tall, skinny, pale figure dashed across their path. It moved quickly, almost too fast to catch. They tried chasing it, but it disappeared into the trees. The creature seemed to resemble the shape of a skinwalker. After a tense moment, they decided it was best to leave. Later, when reviewing the footage, they were unsure if they had captured it. They'd come to find wildlife, but instead, they found something far more unsettling. Vanishing figure. One day, a man in Cork, Ireland, was strolling through the woods, expecting to see a deer. But then, he noticed something strange. A shadowy figure was peeking from behind a tree. He thought it was just his mind playing tricks, but as he got closer, he saw it more clearly. It looked like the Grim Reaper. Tall, dark, and unmoving. He stepped closer, but the figure disappeared behind the tree, leaving no trace. The man left with a sense of unease, knowing he might never get the answer. Woodland creature.
Every once in a while, often, sometimes, someone swears they have seen the mythical Chupacabra.
Sometimes they even catch the creature on camera.
In 2013, a couple driving home noticed a strange animal near the woods. It was moving around on the ground. They couldn't figure out what it was. The husband quickly pulled out his phone and started recording, hoping to capture the unusual sight. The footage spread online. Some people thought it was just a malnourished dog, but others believed its long ears and strange hind legs could mean it was something else. Maybe even a Chupacabra. What's your take on this?
They're a little blurry because we were still trying to move and that thing was running down the fence line and we wanted to get it before it went, and then all of a sudden, right off the league line, it went off into the brush.
Alien discovery. People think aliens started to visit our planet in the 21st century, but this old footage tells something else. In 1937, something strange was found in the woods of Russia. Rangers came across a creature that seemed to have fallen from the sky, its body in bad shape as it had collided with its condition. It looked like the mission had failed. No one knows what happened, but people believe that body might have been taken for the study purpose. I wonder if this was proof that aliens had visited, or if it was part of some other secret mission. Two-mouth turtle. In Indonesia, fishermen saw a turtle crawling out of a pond at night. One of the fishermen picked it up and shone a flashlight on it, only to be shocked by what they saw. The turtle had two mouths. The first was small, with a hole in it, while the second was much larger, with a growth that resembled a tongue. The extra mouth wouldn't close properly, causing food to fall out and leaving the turtle struggling to eat. The fishermen carefully released the turtle back into the water, amazed by the strange secret nature had revealed. Giraffes struggle. In Kruger National Park, South Africa, a giraffe was spotted with an unusual growth on its forehead. The mass, which had been slowly growing for 3 years, was strange and unlike anything seen before. As the days passed, the growth became larger, eventually creating a deep hole in the giraffe's forehead, affecting its strength and health. Veterinarians decided that immediate surgery was necessary to remove the growth. We hope the giraffe will soon be treated and return to good health. Mountain ape. An explorer hiking through the snowy wilderness caught sight of something unusual in the mountains. High up, at least 100 feet in the air, a giant face stared down from the branches of a tree. Its fur was brown, and its features unmistakable. It was a Sasquatch. The legendary creature, often said to roam forests, seemed to defy reason with its incredible height and presence in the treetops. Legends about the Sasquatch have been whispered for centuries, but seeing it in person was an entirely different story. Horned presence. A group of friends were camping at a mountaintop one night when one of them suddenly felt something wasn't right. The area was completely dark, but then they saw two white dots in the distance. As their eyes adjusted, they realized those were glowing eyes. Above them, two horns stuck out from the shadow. The figure looked like some sort of demonic creature, with the eyes and horns resembling a sable. But why was it there at such an hour? The creature didn't move. After a tense moment, they left, deciding never to go back. Frozen stare. A man was walking in a snowy area, recording the view. He seemed to be searching for something when he suddenly stopped. A tiny creature appeared ahead of him. Its glowing eyes and a head shaped like a goat stood out in the snow. The creature didn't move, but stared right at him. The man dropped his camera in shock, and the recording ended. For a moment, the video showed the strange figure before it disappeared. It could be an alien or a shape-shifting creature. Whatever it was, the man never went back there again. Mysterious beast. A local farmer in a small village thought it was just another evening near his fields. But then he noticed a strange figure moving near the crops. It had thin, bony legs and a dark appearance. The creature paced slowly, as if it were searching for something. Its movements were odd, unlike any animal he had seen before. Curious but cautious, the farmer watched from a distance. Fear crept in as he recalled tales of the Chupacabra. What do you think? Could this be the one we're talking about? Oddity. A resident in a neighborhood spotted something unusual in a dumpster. It had a dog-like shape, but wasn't quite a dog. The thing had glowing white eyes that seemed to pierce through the darkness, making it even more terrifying. It was digging through the trash, searching for food. It looked unaware of being watched. The resident stood there unsure if it was a Chupacabra or something else, something more sinister. The creature kept feeding, its eyes glowing brighter in the dim light. The resident stepped back slowly, not wanting to get too close. The creature didn't notice and stood there. Water shadows. One night, a fisherman was in the lake, pulling up his fishing net, when two dark creatures suddenly grabbed him and tried to pull him into the water. It was too dark to see them clearly, but he struggled and somehow escaped. The creatures vanished back into the water, leaving him shaken. Some people said they could have been water creatures or mermaids, while others believed they were sirens, mythical beings from Greek mythology known for luring sailors to their doom. Whatever they were, the fisherman was sure he wouldn't be returning to the water at night anytime soon. Forest giant. In 2021, a video from the woods of Idaho captured what many believe the legendary entity. The creature was massive, towering over 8 feet tall, with features unlike any human. Its long arms and powerful build caught the attention of experts, who noticed details like visible muscles in its legs as it moved. Unlike most blurry sightings, the footage stood out because it was clear and detailed. While some are unconvinced, many believe this might have been the closest glimpse of Bigfoot. Tree Watcher. One night, a villager stepped outside and noticed a strange figure hiding high in a tree. 2 glowing white eyes peered through the darkness, and a glimpse of its face was visible. The rest of its body stayed concealed behind the thick leaves. The sight sparked the thoughts of witches often said to haunt trees at night. Legends warned of such creatures lurking in the shadows, and this encounter seemed to match those tales. It left the villager with an experience that remained unexplained. Mysterious crossing. What could have possibly dashed across the road that night? Let's find out. A local was sitting in his car when suddenly saw a bizarre white creature race in front of his car. It moved so fast that he barely had time to react before it disappeared into the darkness. The creature's posture was odd, which made him think of creatures from folklore like skinwalkers or the Wraith. He sat for a moment, unsure of what he'd just witnessed. Was it a mythical being or just an unusual animal? The road, once empty and still, now seemed darker than before. Rooftop creature. One night, a local saw a terrifying sight. He noticed something sitting on the roof. At first, it seemed like a bird, but something was off. The creature was pale white, with a face that looked like an owl, yet its body was strange. It had a weird, featherless neck, and the rest of its form didn't look quite right. Could it be a rare species of owl? Or maybe some kind of owl hybrid? The sight left him too shaken to sleep, and he couldn't help but wonder if it would ever return. Creepy gaze. A video uploaded online showed a man recording in the woods at night. At first, everything seemed normal as he wandered there, but suddenly, behind a tree, a creature with glowing red eyes appeared. It was barely visible, just the creepy eyes staring out from the shadows. The man quickly ran, clearly startled by what he had seen. Some viewers suggested it might have been an owl with unusual eyes reflecting the light. However, the strange glow and the creature's sudden appearance made some wonder if it was something else entirely. What do you think? Let me know. Shadow Walker. In 2021, a trail camera in Birch Bay captured an unusual sight. The video showed a large, dark figure moving silently behind the trees. It blended into the night. The creature appeared with a shape that reminded viewers of Bigfoot, known in myths as a giant being that roams the forests. It seemed to vanish into the darkness as quickly as it appeared. As the footage ended, the uncertainty remained. Why had it stayed hidden until now? Tall figure. Nights may seem peaceful with everyone asleep, but some creatures are out there, moving near your house. One night in Finland, a strange sight was caught on video. A massive, dark figure appeared in front of a house. It moved quickly across the yard, towering over everything around it. The creature's long legs seemed to make up most of its height as it climbed up a slope. Then it disappeared into the shadows. Some viewers thought it resembled Slender Man. The terrifying legend is known for his tall form and association with disappearances. Next time, if you come across something like this, be sure to keep your distance. Silent Watcher. In the woods, a group of hunters had a close encounter they wouldn't forget. While trekking through the trees, they spotted a giant black figure behind the thin branches. As they stood still, the creature tilted its head. It stared at them, its hairy form almost blending into the shadows. The hunters stopped, unsure whether to move. The creature stayed still, just watching them, making the woods feel more terrifying than ever. They couldn't shake the feeling that it knew they were there. It wasn't just a bear or a deer. It was a Bigfoot. Yes, you heard it right. The hunters knew they wouldn't forget that stare anytime soon. Werewolf sighting. It was a quiet night when a local was driving through a village in Minas Gerais. Suddenly, a black creature on all fours darted across the road. It looked like a werewolf. In local myths, werewolves are believed to be humans cursed to transform into terrifying beasts during a full moon. The creature seemed to match this description, moving like it wasn't even human. The man decided to quickly drive away, his heart beating in fear. It made him think if the legends were more than stories. Crawling beast. One night, a villager was walking near some woods when he spotted a creature sitting in the field. What caught his attention were its glowing eyes, staring right at him. The creature slowly started crawling, its massive body resembling something like Bigfoot or Sasquatch. It looked like it had come from the woods nearby. The villager froze, watching as it moved silently under the dark sky. He couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just a wild animal. It was huge. Maybe a beast people had whispered about for years. Wandering spirit. A hunter in the woods captured a scary sight on his camera. He was tracking when a figure appeared in the distance. It looked like a humanoid, but transparent. The figure moved silently, blending into the trees. He tried to get a better image, but the low-quality video made it hard to make out any details. It was tall, almost unnatural. These woods are home to spirits or jinn. Perhaps this was one of them, roaming, unseen by most. He quickly decided to turn away, his instincts telling him it was time to leave. Creepy smile. A hunter in the woods at night suddenly saw a giant creature hiding behind a tree. It tilted its head, showing a creepy smile. Its eyes seemed to stare right at him. Then, without a sound, it moved back behind the tree and disappeared. A Sasquatch? Well, it seemed like one. Many believe Sasquatch is a creature that guards the forests, avoiding humans, but watching from the shadows. The hunter couldn't shake the feeling that he had seen the guardian of the woods, a figure from myths that's rarely seen and never understood. Pale runner. An explorer stood at a slope deep in the woods, feeling as though he had wandered into a restricted area. That's when he saw it, a pale creature running straight toward him. Its shape was humanoid, moving on two legs like a person. The sight was terrifying. The explorer didn't waste a second and ran for his life. Stories of strange beings in isolated forests flashed in his mind as he fled. Could this have been one of them? Glowing eyes. A local was in his garden one night when he noticed two glowing eyes staring at him from the shadows. There was no body, no movement, just those piercing eyes. They seemed to hover, unblinking, and fixed on him. He stayed frozen, unsure of what he was seeing. Some thought it could be an animal, but the light of the eyes didn't look natural. Others speculated it might be a rake, a creature known for its eerie glow. The man decided not to stick around. Whatever it was, it didn't follow as he ran inside. Those glowing eyes stayed in his mind long after the night was over. Nightstalker. A late-night hiker heard eerie noises deep in the woods near his camp. The sounds were strange and drew him further into the darkness. Suddenly, a pale creature crawled onto the path. Its back bent inwards unnaturally, and its hind legs were short and twisted. It didn't move like a human or any animal he recognized. Frozen with fear, the hiker managed to record the creature before running for his life. A skinwalker? Well, the hiker hasn't dared to return to find out. Amazonian anomaly. A group of explorers in the Amazon stumbled upon a strange carcass lying on the ground. It was gray and had a tail. Its body seemed like a mix between a rat and a monkey. Curious, they touched it with a stick to see if it was alive. It didn't move. Its face was the most unsettling part that looked unnatural. Terrified, they quickly clicked some pictures and shared them online to get some clues. From a newly discovered species to an alien being, people came up with many suggestions, but no one till day could explain anything about this Amazonian anomaly. Rare encounter. One day, the locals in a small town were shocked to find a creature on the road that looked just like a dinosaur. The small creature had reptilian skin with scales, making it seem so real. It looked like a baby version of the Triceratops, but dinosaurs are supposed to be extinct. The people gathered around, touching it to make sure it was real. They couldn't believe their eyes. Excited, they called experts to help. The creature was so rare that they needed to place it somewhere safe. It was a find that would be remembered for years. Smoky secret. In southern India, a strange sight left experts in disbelief. A video surfaced showing an elephant seemingly smoking in the woods. The massive creature used its trunk to put something in its mouth, and then, to everyone's shock, it blew smoke out. Wildlife experts were puzzled, saying they'd never witnessed behavior like this before. Some believed it could be self-medication, where animals use plants or other substances to heal. The scene seemed unreal, leaving many to wonder if there was a deeper mystery behind the elephant's actions. No one could explain what exactly the elephant was doing or why it was happening. Open discussion. One night, two villagers noticed a goat acting strangely. As they got closer, they saw a black figure attached to it. The creature wouldn't let go. It was hard to see clearly in the dark, but it looked like nothing they'd ever seen before. The two of them rushed over and managed to pull the creature off the goat. It quickly vanished into the shadows. The two chased it to the river, but when they got there, it was gone. They thought they saw it behind a rock in the water, but before they could get closer, it disappeared again. What was it? They never found out, but they had the strong feeling the creature was a juvenile Chupacabra. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.